So yeah, the lovely people over at GAOMON contacted me to review one of their tablets. I was very excited about it because this is my first tablet review, and I've also owned a GAOMON tablet before, and it was really good. So good, in fact, that when someone broke it, instead of upgrading to another tablet, I just bought the same one again because I was not ready to part with it. But yeah, after talking back and forth, GAOMON sent me one of their PD1320 display tablets. And when I received it, I was so excited. Inside was the tablet, which was surprisingly bigger than I thought. It was also very light for its size. It comes with a cover that also acts like a stand when you fold it up, which is super handy and makes it easier to carry around without worrying about the screen getting scratched. The pen, of course, some wires, a bag that has the manual, the glove and a cloth in it, and a box that has a plug in it. You can change the plug depending on what kind of socket your country uses. And a pen stand. The glove fits surprisingly well. Still a bit loose, but I have small hands, so it's not a big issue for most people. The cloth is a very nice addition. My tablets usually get cat hairs all over them, so this will definitely come in handy. Peeling off the protective film was a challenge because I could only use one hand. But I was very happy that the screen had good glare protection because my window is right behind me when I draw. The tablet feels very nice to hold and the screen is very smooth. Here's a 20-second clip of me not understanding where the cover went because I didn't read the manual. I eventually figured it out after reading it though. The pen stand is the coolest addition. I've never had a pen stand before. The pen feels very sturdy in it. The stand has a clip in it that helps you remove your pen nibs when they wear down. Originally I thought it didn't come with spare nibs, which I thought was kind of weird, and just before I was about to contact GAOMON about it, I found them inside the stand. What? I love the pen stand. Everything is great quality and I'm very happy with all the items. The driver was incredibly easy to install and set up. The pen pressure was really customizable. I don't really understand what the graph means, but I just messed around with it until I got what I wanted. The tablet doesn't have any hotkey buttons on it, which doesn't really bother me though because I don't normally use them. It does have a button on the side to adjust the brightness. The colours on it are great and the lining with it is really smooth. There's no shake or jitter on the pen. It actually took me a good few minutes to realise that my stabilisers weren't even on in Krita because my lines are so smooth with it. The tablet itself is just the right size for my desk and the stand has it at a really good angle. Apparently this tablet can be connected to your Android phone to draw, but I don't have an Android phone so I couldn't test this out. Overall, I haven't found any big flaws with it and it's probably the best tablet I've owned so far. I'm really happy with it and I'd really recommend it if you're looking for a simple and portable tablet. GAOMON tablets are very affordable for their quality and I'm so glad I got to review this awesome display tablet for them. Okay, now for the tutorial. As you may know, I'm a Krita user. For those who don't know, Krita is a free Photoshop alternative. I've been using it for about 4 years now and I've never felt the need to change to a different program. A lot of people ask me how I animate in Krita, so I'm going to show you. The animation example that I made for this also includes lip sync, so I'll touch a bit on how I do lip sync as well. First you need to get your layout animation ready. Open a regular file. Generally 1920 by 1080 is the standard, and 72 pixels per inch is what works best for me. You'll need to open a few animation dockers. For this, you need to go to Settings, Dockers, and select Animation Timeline and Onion Skin. I'm working with the Beta 5 version of Krita, so if you have a version below this, you might need to select different dockers. If I remember correctly, they're called Timeline and Animation. Both these dockers were merged for simplicity and are now called Animation Timeline in the new version. Both versions apply to this tutorial though. They still work the same. Now to start with the animation, the song I chose is Guns for Hire by Woodkid, which is a song from the Netflix series Arcane.
Which slaps, by the way, you should totally watch our game.
I normally screen record to get my audio, so I can't recommend a good website for audio, sorry. A big complaint I see with Krita is that the audio lags when animating. That's because MP3 files are too big for Krita to handle, so you have to use a WAV file. Then it should work fine. I recommend exporting your audio using an editing program or a website to convert to a WAV file. I use Sony Vegas Pro 17 to do that. Another complaint I see is that it lags a lot. To be fair, there are some points where it crashes, but if you make sure you keep your Krita files small, then it won't crash as often. I recommend having every scene of your animation as a separate file to keep them small. That can be a hassle to keep track of, but if you have a good editing program, it shouldn't be too hard to put them all together at the end. This animation is just going to be a sketch because I'm demonstrating how I animate lip sync, and I'm not too worried about making the rest look super polished. I always start off by playing the audio and working out where each word is on the timeline. Then I mark at which point the syllable is said. For longer dialogue that has a lot of action in it, like this, I'll make a quick animation of the mouth in one place. That way when the character is moving around, I don't really need to rely on onion skin to make sure the shape is right. I just use the sketch as a reference for each frame. Always use keyframes, otherwise as your character moves around, the shape will start to change. With all the movements in this animation, I found keeping the shapes consistent quite challenging. After your keyframes, start filling in the in-betweens, remembering to use your mouth sketch as a reference. That's all I have to say about lip sync animation really. Once you're done, you'll need to render your animation, which you'll need an FFmpeg to do. If you try to render it without the FFmpeg, it'll ask you to download one. Simply go to the site that it shows you and download it. Once you do, you'll be able to add it and your animation will render fine. This tablet was really nice and comfortable to work with. Thanks again to GAOMON for having me review it. I'll definitely continue to use it as my main tablet. Thanks for watching. I hope this video gave you a bit of insight on how to work in Krita. Here's the finished animation.